Good morning, evening, afternoon. I am tatocat and welcome to my channel. Coming at you with a new game and a new intro. No. Probably going, tatocat, I can semi-see you, even though there's a holy glowing background behind you. Well, today we're playing a special game. I thought it'd be kind of cool if you guys could actually see my reaction. So I managed to find my webcam that has been hidden for a while. We are playing Echoes, a Lucid9 fan game, which is made by Spartan Cupcake, and they have requested for me to play it, and I feel very honored to do so. This is the first time somebody who's made a game has requested me to play their game, and I feel very, very happy. So the music when I was playing it earlier was very low, and I lowered it for a reason, but you can't hear anything, so I'm actually going to turn it up just a little bit. So maybe hear just a little bit, but apparently there's some copyright things that might happen, but I'm not really worried about monetization. So let's begin. I read most of this earlier, so basically what it says, this game is not affiliated with Lucid9 or Fallen Snow Studios. It is a fan game, and it has some disturbing stuff such as political views and philosophical views and depicting of mental health issues and violence and existential crises. And everything is used under the fair use claims, laws, whatever they're called. If you are a copyright holder and have a problem with these things being used, you can message Spartan Cupcake or send a message on the itch thing. I will put all that stuff in the link. But I will read this part, because like this one, when I did a practice run, because, you know, first time using a webcam while I'm recording, it took me a really long time to read all this, so I'm just kind of glossing over it. An important health thing is, I guess I will read that part. This fan game contains flashing lights, loud noises, rapidly moving images, and auto-appearing text. Oh no! No, my enemy! And regularly takes control away from the player for narrative purposes. If you find any of these distressing or have a medical condition that would cause exposure to these to compromise your physical or mental health, playing this fan game is not advisable. It's also advised for 18+, but I usually let YouTube decide that for me. Okay. So if you can't take the flashing lights, please don't watch, because I don't want anything to happen to you. Or if you're sensitive. If you can watch Doki Doki Literature Club, you should be fine, I suppose. Echoes, a Lucid9 fan game, is currently in early pre-alpha and contains code that may be a bit buggy, maybe a buggy mess. If you'd like to report a bug, please comment on the game's itch, direct message me, okay? Echoes, a Lucid9 fan game, does not contain any sexual explicit material. However, it contains numerous depictions of and allusions to violence, disturbing philosophical views, there it is, and exploitation of humanity, just like the original. Depends on the platform. Yep, age restricting. If you're streaming, this is the part that warned me about the music and stuff, and this part just tells me that if YouTube tells me to take it down, then I need to take it down, which I will. Ooh, this is cool looking. I like this. I also like the music. I don't know if you can hear the music. It's like a eerie techno vibey music. Please choose a difficulty setting. Ooh, difficulty settings. Immediately I kind of want to do the hardest one. just to see what happens. But we'll look at all of them. Civilian. There's a bright future out there for all of us, but the world's still expecting good people to do the right thing. Plus 10% health and armor regeneration per turn. 4 times bonuses to light karma and dark karma scores. I wonder what those are. Hopefully it tells us later. 4 times bonuses to cure progress. Oh yeah, I was told there was a bit of a fighty part, or a part where we can fight enemies and stuff. Enemies pose very little threat to the player, if any. Oh, that's cool. I guess, like, if you want to play a visual novel and you're not really into the sort of extra parts where you have to fight or anything like that, it's a good setting to have. Go back. It's nice that it's just a go back and I don't have to scroll up to go back to the screen. Recruit. Oh, her hair color changed. Recruit. Not every story has a happy ending. This doesn't have to be one of those stories. Plus 5% health and armor regeneration per turn. 2 times bonus to light karma and dark karma scores. 2 times bonus to cure progress. Enemies are weaker and easier to kill. I wonder if the setting has an effect on dialogue or ending a game that you get. This is the setting I'll probably play because it's the middle ground, operative. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, where it that we could be weak. This is the baseline difficulty for Echo's a Lucid9 Fangame. No bonuses or penalties are applied. Oh, and then there is Veteran. Survival is possible. Victory is not. Does it look like this when you play the whole game? Just like this ready stuff. Minus 5% health and armor decay per turn. 0.5 times penalty to light karma and dark karma scores. 0.5 times penalty to cure progress. Enemies are powerful and difficult to kill. Well, that sounds interesting. If you make it to Steam, you should have different achievements for these different things. Lucid9. Lucid. I keep just wanting to say 9 because Lucid's there. Lucid. Nothing awaits you but pain. Oh, wonderful. This difficulty is permanent. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And then you go in. And you're like, this sucks. You can't fix it. That's clever. Minus 10% health and armor decay per turn. 0.25 times penalty to light karma and dark karma scores. 0.25 times penalty to cure progress. Enemies are extremely powerful and virtually indestructible. Why would you do that to yourself? Me, I would. Just cuz. See if I can. That's the real answer. Yeah, we'll go with operative. The middle ground. I'm just trying to see what kind of tattoo this is. At first I thought it said love, but it clearly does not. Start the game as operative. Would you like to jump to a specific chapter? I don't know, I just started. There really isn't a specific chapter. Yes, no, open database, spoilers. Well, I'll have to look at that later. Debug. I wonder what that does, but I'm just going to choose no. ... Who are we? I'm assuming I am a girl because who that was a girl. Yeah, I did not read too much of the stuff. I think we are playing from a female perspective. I'm not going to say it in case none of you have heard of this game before, because who we're playing from is kind of surprising. Whose perspective we're playing from is kind of surprising. Alright, so I'll just use my girl voice without trying to deepen it. I've seen horrors that you've seen. But you have no right to call me a murderer. Well, if you shoot somebody, you have a right to kill me. You have a right to do that. But you have no right to judge me. When I was younger, I used to watch from the top of the stairs when Dad put his war movies on TV. Being the person she was, Mom would always humor him after a long day's work. It kept him sane, knowing that there were worse places in the world than here. I remember watching her pour him a second drink through the cracks between my fingers when the end credits began to roll. So, did this person just sit at the top of the stairs through the whole movie with their hands over their eyes? I guess war movies can be gory depending on what movie you're watching. Ooh, this creepy scene. It was very sad. Beaming striations of white against the black light. Was that black light or backlight? Backlight. On those nights, even the cicadas outside had gone to sleep, and I smiled, thinking of them. Imagining what it would be like out there, beyond these walls. Maybe there was a mommy cicada and a daddy cicada, handing out hot milk and little feety pajamas, all little footy pajamas, to all the other children, to all of their children. Aw, that does seem very cute. I told myself that surely the children must have loved them. After all, love was the most important thing in the world. On some nights, I could hear the leaves rustling outside my bedroom window. On other nights, I cried into my pillow by the flickering nightlight when the wind forgot to blow. Even without a single soul to notice me in those shadows, there was always something out there that I could focus on. Something to distract me from thinking about how lost and alone I truly felt. Something to remind me that there was an entire world out there, and one that wasn't all bad, because certain someone would have preferred me to have believed. Some tiny reminder that I wasn't alone, and that as long as I kept my friends and family close to my heart, I never need to be afraid of going through life without someone watching over me, someone to watch over me. Oh, it's Yama. Hi, Yama. Or someone to watch over in return. Bye, Yama. Some nights I had dreams where everything was okay. Some nights I wouldn't have to worry about losing the house or getting engulfed by the flames or stray spark. If I ever woke up in a cold sweat, I could just pull the covers over my head and pretend that they were some magical barrier that rendered me impervious to all harm. Some nights, I genuinely believed that things would take a turn for the better. Sure paid the price for that one, didn't I? Unless you're a child, or one of the few people lucky enough to be able to sit at home playing video games all day. Hey, not all the time. You're going to need to worry about quite a few things if you want to stay alive, as well as quite a few things if you don't. I got very bright. Even then, there's no guarantee that your life will be an easy one. But can't you dream? Can't you tell yourself that it's just a matter of time before your condition improves? Can't you hope for a future filled with something else besides silence or the expectation of suffering? Can't you get high enough on the good parts of life or something other mind-altering substance in order to create that future for yourself? And if push comes to shove, can't you trick your mind into believing that it's already here? I certainly thought so. Back then, I could just close my eyes and dream. In my dreams, I wasn't afraid of lowering my guard around the people I would have died for if I had the chance. So they all knew how much I loved them, as well as how lost I'd be if they were gone. Because I loved them, I protected them as they protected me. No, it's dark again. At least until there was nobody left to protect. No more hugs and kisses and neatly packed lunches, school lunches. No more rucksacks, playgrounds, or band-aids with cartoon characters on scratched knees. No more sleepovers on rainy summer days, nights with pillow forts and scary stories. Oh, I miss pillow forts. No more warm welcomes or festivals. No more chasing each other around the old family home without a care in the world. Because there is no family. There's no home. And the one broken heart I could have mended was the one I pulverized under the weight of my own indecision. It's funny, really. For all the ghosts people claim to see at night, the ones more haunting are the ones whose faces, whose very nature, we fail to remember. All joy to be had and all tears to be shed will become a pale imitation as the past recedes into the silence of memory. Regardless of whatever you try, the horror of knowing that nothing lasts forever will always catch up to you. Well, that was dark. I regret not seeing that until now. And I regret not knowing that every dream and every glimmer of hope has to die someday. So before it turns into a nightmare, before that sliver of hope shatters into despair you dreaded so much, and your attempts to flee into an ideal, into a delusion, You need to acknowledge what you can control and what you need to acknowledge what you can't. I regret that I once believed in concepts such as justice, loyalty, decency, and goodwill. Perhaps I dreamt that they could be maintained. Just like people who are full of love, people who live, laugh, and lift others up. Dreams, too, can be transformed into lifeless husks. Oily, metallic shadows sneaking across the tile floor. An end to a chapter. When the story you've written for yourself ends, there are two ways you can go out. You can either be made by some unknown, you can either be made by some unknown hand to sleep forever, away from solace and somehow away from hope, truth, lies, despair, beginnings, and endings. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Way Forward Corporations. Ooh. T121B Iris. Monodirectional AR Utility Visor. Firmware version 3.63. Binoculars. Okay. This one says R Hayata. Who's R? Clearance beta 1, SSD clearance, TBR, and an A. I don't know if any of these things really matter, but I'm really liking the detail. I'll put channels only, format after, just like, I don't know if any of this will change. Heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygenation. That seems to be pretty good. Water usage, metabolic rate. Okay. Nutrient level is nominal. Cool. Lots of little detail here. 4/28/2021. Or you can wake up. ... Ooh, nice background. Very eerie. It's still twilight by the time I come to my senses. Oh, there's things in the background. There's whispers or something. Not an unexpected situation, but certainly not a disconcerting one. The path in front of me is half illuminated by floodlights, blocked off at the threshold by a janitorial cart. Is that what that is? The cleaning staff should have wiped dust and grime off the floors by now, but at least that mop has something to lean on. After all, it would be a tripping hazard otherwise. I can bet that half of them don't even get a promotion to Class 3 for their efforts. That's the thing about jobs nobody wants to do. That is true. But the person who left this here knows that it needs to be done anyway. Just like me, they won't complain, they won't protest, they won't argue. No, we're getting closer to it. Almost entranced, I extend a hand, bathing my palms in the harsh artificial light, shimmering through my eyelashes as the brightness forces me to squint. Exclamation mark! Oh, what happened? I instinctively take a step back as a ring of light forms in the lens of my utility glasses. A halo to signify an ever thinning line, an iridescence at a turning point, a confluence. With enough solitude and dedication, anyone can turn their mundane life into a poem through a sufficient quality of metaphorical rigmarole. You're not wrong. In fact, the only difference between a depressed person and a poet is that there's no medication for chronic poetry. I was told that by a man I once despised, but I don't have time to hate him anymore. No matter my conviction, this matter must be resolved without judgment, without sensation. Goals must be satisfied by tangible results. And the only way to achieve those results is to employ a purely pragmatic approach. Guess it's oddly fitting that I'm not entirely certain of these beliefs. ... The turning point. How many people have teetered on its edge between good and evil, between right and wrong? Yet, we're pushed or pulled by those who believe onto a single side. It's innumerable, but there has to be a reason that they treat morality like an impenetrable wall. Maybe they're afraid. And yet, I was afraid as well. But I had to ignore it. For his sake. It's not as if people afraid of the dark reel back into horror every time they see darkness itself. It's what lies within it, and the impossibility of ascertaining that unknowable thing that they fear the most. But for those accustomed to the darkness, surely they can take cover under the shadow of a parasol when passing through the bright expanse between two far larger shadows. And surely, even I could, theoretically, feel the light again. Whoa, what does that mean? I guess we'll have to see in the next episode. If you have any comment, subscribe. See you next time.